Danganronpa does this thing where it goes real hard off the rails, but and that's why V3 is a fucking trip, but because it goes so far off the rails, they're like, we know it's a prequel, but what's plot continuity?
Let's just,
We could either have Toko stay static and the same and miserable the whole time, or we could have a great character arc and we just all are on the same page.
And we're just all okay with this.
Yeah, we're all just gonna be okay with this.
I like that.
And I was like, you know what?
I like that so
Valid.
much. Oh.
She's great. She's a really good character.
Do you have to play all 3 games before you play Despair Girls?
Despair Girls, well, because it's a, Despair Girls, you do need to play the first 2 games.
Okay.
It operates on a lot of information from Danganronpa 2.
Got it.
But V3 is its own, there's a reason why all of my brother's friends have played V3 and not the rest of the games, because it's such a, like, who the fuck cares? Certainly not the creators anymore.
It wasn't necessary, it's the thing.
Yeah,
but...
V3 is the Danganronpa people being like, can we be done? How many times can we put children in a space and make them kill each other?
I think I remember you telling me about this before, yeah. Oh, that move Penny just made.
I know. Oh man. But yes, they actually did have some attempt at plot continuity until V3 when they were like, fuck it.
Got it. I mean,
and made a masterpiece for what it's worth, but
I mean, Zero Time Dilemma kind of has that same issue.
I would argue it has the opposite thing, because Zero Time Dilemma, I think what ruined Zero Time Dilemma,
trying to wrap too much shit.
Yeah, was that they were so dedicated to their past.
Yeah.
Whereas V3's like, you like this thing? You like this thing? I'm gonna shoot this thing. Who likes Danganronpa? I don't like Danganronpa.
I'm throwing it in the garbage.
None of us like Danganronpa. You're like, jeez. It's this Danganronpa on the title, and like, fuck it. That's a marketing choice. Jesus, okay, I'm sorry. Like, we've never liked Danganronpa.
Like, what?
You're like, but you made 3 games that made me think you made an anime. They're like, yeah, for the money. We made this for the passion. You're like, alright.
Holy shit.
V3's a masterpiece.
Holy shit.
It's so mad. It's made by a bunch of people that clearly didn't get home to see their families for the whole development time of Danganronpa 1.
So they're
just like, this game ruined my marriage. You're like, alright,
I'm gonna make it an experience.
No, they're like, I'm divorced now. I'm mad at the past 3 games that ruined my family life. I'm mad I didn't see my children because I was programming this. And you're like, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Holy shit.
This is not an inaccurate plot summary of Danganronpa V3.
It's incredibly vindictive.
It's just the maddest fucking game. It's the angriest single work I've ever seen. I've never known anything that hated itself more than V3 hates itself.
Like to the point where it's like, why are you playing me?
It's
like,
so mad.
What? Why would you make that?
I don't know.
Why would you make that and then publish it?
It's so angry.
Why would you?
It's mad at you for playing it. It's mad at their bosses for making them write it.
It's mad at itself for existing.
Yeah, and the funniest thing is, it actually has some of the best cases in the entire series. It's a really solid game, but it hates itself.
What the fuck? Those
Good.
poor developers. Because that's clearly just the developers going like, ah! Like,
what cracks me up is that apparently World's End Club is also about children murdering each other, so they didn't escape.
God damn it.
They tried to escape.
They got divorced and lost their families, and they still need to murder children in games.
Oh my god. And I will say, I'm actually, joking aside, A, this is an accurate summary of the game, but B, I actually think there's part of me that feels like it's not vindictive at all. There's part of me that feels like exactly what I'm describing is the thesis. It's like when they created their design doc before they started playing and pitched it to their publisher.
Let's make an anti-Danganronpa.
They're like, what if we made the angriest game imaginable? And their publisher was like, done.
God.
It's fucking wild. I can't believe Spike Chunsoft signed off on it. I really can't believe Spike Chunsoft actually allowed them to make this game. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so fucking angry.
That's incredible.
I love it.
I can't wait to get there.
Hi folks, and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. We are in the midst of a case to uncover what happened to Chihiro, who her murderer was, and what led to the bizarre circumstances around her death.
This one's a weird one.
This one's a weird one. We have uncovered that the ultimate serial killer is in residence as one of the students here.
Yup.
Their name is Genocide Jack or Genocide Jill or Genocide or Show, it doesn't matter.
She corrected to Genocide Jill, but it sounds like it's interchangeable.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll probably use both, Jack or Jill.
Yeah. So she's around.
She's here.
We also have seen that Byakuya is sort of like dragging us by her nose through all of this, but it does kind of seem like, or it seemed for a moment, like the direction this case was going was that Byakuya was the one that killed Chihiro, but Makoto seems to be having some doubts.
Yes, it's getting kind of weird now, because we were starting to feel a little suspicious of Byakuya, because Genocide Jill claims that she did not do this murder because it's, oh my god, an insult to her craft. So...
Oh, it's like Chef Boyardee, are you kidding me?
Like...
And I'm a goddamn chef. She's my favorite. she's really great.
I'll say it again, getting to her was not great.
Yeah, the circumstances around her writing are terrible, but she's a very good character.
But she is a character. Awesome.
And for those that aren't aware, there's a side game that is sort of generally themed around her, which is interesting. Between episodes, I went on a fucking tear about all of the different Danganronpa titles and my strong feelings about Danganronpa V3.
I honestly might be recording. I might slot that at the end of this episode. Because
I have very strong feelings about Danganronpa V3, and I want the world to know about them, so you're fine to do that.
Oh, it's so good.
It has nothing to do with this game, but it does make me very happy.
There was no spoilers or anything. It was really great, though.
It was more of a theme piece.
Yes.
It was discussing the tone and theme of the game. Anyway, so if we have like a lot of like vibrating energy coming off of us, it's because I just went on a long rant.
You did.
So thank you for tolerating me, Allison.
I'm here for it. I'm so here for it.
Oh my god. All right, but back to the case,
Yes.
because it does seem like things are getting interesting.
Yeah, things are getting interesting. We were, like you said, we were starting to suspect Byakuya had staged it, but now Makoto's like, I'm not really sure, but if it's not Byakuya, who the fuck?
Yeah, all we have is doubt at the
Yes.
moment. Maybe not some leads, but we do have doubt at the moment. So let's see what Makoto comes up with.
Yep.
There's something that's still bothering me.
Or Big Mac, as
yeah,
Genocide Jack
get your
likes to
Big
call
Mac.
it. Yeah.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath.
He's summarizing this very well from the past episode.
What
Thank
about
you,
all
Byakuya.
that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said as the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said.
The scene of the
The
crime.
scene of the crime.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
Why would Byakuya... now I'm thinking, why would Byakuya try to frame himself from this double layer to protect the person who actually did the killing? Like, I don't... it's weird.
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
Oh my god.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that.
You could have gotten to the scene of the crime first. Like, he could have gotten there first. He could have been number one. And then tampered with it.
I mean, what's interesting is we know he was at least number 1 or 2. Because he dragged Makoto in, and the body announcement didn't trigger until Ishimaru came in.
Right.
Yeah. He definitely could have gotten there first.
Yep.
How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
The murderer doesn't count.
Right. Yeah, which I'm saying, like, if he's not the murderer here, he could have been there first. Like, maybe he didn't murder, but he could have tampered with the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
They just flipped it.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
See, this is the problem when you charge off without examining the scene properly, Byakuya.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker room. Okay, we've got a couple things that could work here, though.
I think the easiest one is the
posters?
poster. Because that's a direct... I mean, we know about the carpets, but that requires a bit more...
Yeah, blood was found...
And also because it's literally showing both of them here.
Yeah, blood was found on the poster in the girls' locker room. The poster featured a big-breasted supermodel popular among young boys. Meanwhile, the poster in the boys' locker room was for a boy band popular with teenage girls. I guess we'll present this first.
This feels like a good starting place. I could be wrong, but...
Yeah,
I got it!
Yeah.
I think he
The
got it.
proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The
I have more
poster in
proof!
the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. Don't you think that's kind of strange?
I love Makoto's fixation on this.
Supermodel.
Every time he's like, it's very important that I think in my mind that she has big boobs.
Yeah, I mean, technically, it is part of the case we're building here.
You're not wrong. It's relevant. You bring it up, Makoto, but I do think it is funny that you have some fixation
every
on
time.
this. Yes.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado.
I want to know about these fellas.
I do too. I love their hair.
Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not the stain that was scrubbed away. It was moved. Disappearing stain.
No, I think it's the other
Or
one.
is it,
I think we need to, yeah, this one. We need to show
boys'
that.
locker room
Yep.
carpet? Yeah. I'm just gonna spin it.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't
She
you
was
think?
murdered probably in the boys' locker room. Yeah.
And then moved.
What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
So this suggests that Chihiro was going into the boys' locker room, like, on her own, like, of her own volition, like, outside of the loophole. Or not, no, using the loophole, probably, to get in. Because she can't use her own handbook to get into the boys' locker room, so she probably would have had to use maybe Leon's to get in.
I don't think we know that. I don't know if that's...
We probably don't have enough information.
That's sort of, yeah.
I'm trying to jump ahead and think how Chihiro could have... I mean, I guess she could have been... I don't know. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how she... yeah. Could have gotten in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that's what this conversation is suggesting yet.
No,
but
it's
I
not.
do think that is definitely a factor.
Yes.
There's 2 locker rooms. We know there's a loophole. We know there's spare handbooks. We know that yada 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 yada. There's a lot of like elements.
Yes.
But I don't think we're there yet.
No, not quite.
Yeah.
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
Oh,
I highly
Yasuhiro.
doubt that.
Please.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Wow, you're joining in. Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Oh. And we're off.
A rare moment indeed.
Broken e-handbook.
Yeah.
But there could be something else in here that's useful. But
yeah, by the nature
Is
of
it
this,
really
we have to
possible?
refute.
yeah.
So.
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook!
No.
She was the ultimate
Given
programmer,
that
after all.
Yasuhiro started this, it's probably going to be a Yasuhiro.
I'm sure that would have been no problem
Yeah.
for her.
No, I don't think that's it.
Although that's a fair point that
She
he makes.
used the thing that was in the main hall.
Oh?
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook,
Yeah.
of course.
No, that's wrong.
Good note.
Yeah, it's broken.
Yep.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
I mean, it's fair for him to think that, though.
Yeah, no, it's a logical conclusion.
Absolutely.
Especially because Monokuma said that it wasn't necessarily broken.
Right.
But it's not working from what we
Yeah.
can tell. Yeah.
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible,
For
huh?
what it's worth, an astute observation that
Yeah,
Yasuhiro.
it's true.
You had an actual thing to contribute.
He did! He actually contributed.
Incredible.
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook,
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it, then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second.
Oh, Kyoko.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Can we do that?
I
Can
mean,
we
we're
just
about to find out.
Stop and take a break?
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Monokuma.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Okie doke.
Where are we going, Kyoko? Where are you taking us?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was... Okay.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully.
Well, not you.
Oh, jeez.
Like, you can leave.
Get out of here.
Hands?
You can go.
Nah, bye.
No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Okay,
Sakura.
Kyoko could have
What
just
is
said what
this?
she
Something
wanted to
Right,
say.
like, she could just say it.
Yeah.
Did you have to make a big show out of it like this? I don't know.
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Oh, thanks, Sakura.
Sakura's so good.
She's really good.
So good.
Just really like her a lot. She's, again, I feel like her and Junko and there was one other person, I guess Chihiro, were like the three like really decent people. Like,
and
we
two of them
lost
are gone.
2 of them.
Yeah.
I just want Sakura to be okay because she's the last decent person.
I know. Kyoko seems to have a brain cell, but she's also like not my favorite person at this exact moment.
Hina doesn't quite have a brain cell, but she does seem pretty decent.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's like you can't have a brain cell and be decent unless you're Sakura. That's where we're at right now. You either get the brain cell or you get to be decent. You don't get both.
Only Sakura gets both.
And many get neither.
Yeah, right.
Most of the cast get neither at any point. They might like tap the brain cell as it flies by them, but that's it.
Look, there's the brain cell. Fuck. Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
I think I see where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's been pretty obvious for a while where they were
body.
going with this.
I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
But why did it have...
The thing is...
we're playing it up into this this show, I don't know. Like,
no, it's shitty. This is the thing that obviously this is the thing that I've been talking about. That's really shitty. Where the game's like, we're so edgy, and it's like, no, you're just being shitty.
We're gonna make a spectacle out of this.
Yeah. What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl
Is what?
is a boy.
Wow.
Like
thanks, video game. Shocker.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What?
Okay, yeah.
It's a gag.
Yeah, it was a gag.
Yeah.
You're joking,
See,
right?
and now freaking Kyoko's in my shit list because she could have been like,
actually,
yeah, like, I mean,
she's
already
trans, or actually she's intersex, and like,
yeah, it's like, to be clear, there's a lot of different ways this could have been handled, and almost every single way is better.
Then let's go feel up her body.
Yeah,
and
make a big public display of it. Everybody get in here. Yeah. No, it's bad.
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Oh my god.
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
Ah, great. Awesome.
Great.
So that's what
Fantastic.
Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Now, obviously, what Kyoko is trying to demonstrate is that Chihiro's e-handbook, I guess,
keeping you waiting.
would have
was
allowed her
then,
into
let's resume the
boys'
class trial.
The boys'
locker room. Locker room was
Yeah.
not in my brain. I was like, what, gym? No.
That makes so much about this, like, just all kind of all fucked up. Like, I don't know, in a lot of, I don't know, like, poor Chihiro. I mean, we don't know she's not here, so she can't talk about it, so they're gonna talk about it right now.
No, but it's ultimately, we're about to go down a path here, and all of it is without us knowing, without Chihiro being able to be in the room to give her perspective and her opinion, so now everybody's just gonna go wherever they go. Yeah.
That's really
I said,
unfortunate.
I think last episode, this case is shitty.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating because the framework is incredibly neat. But this is bad.
We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
This is getting into such, like, explicit parallel to Naoto from Persona 4, and it's, like, so frustratingly handled exactly the same way, where they're all just like, oh, we don't understand the situation around this, but now that we've made this discovery, we're gonna misgender this person, and I mean, part of what I was saying is that Chihiro is not here to give, like, her perspective, so we really don't know anything about where Chihiro is coming from, but clearly Chihiro had chosen to present herself in a certain way, and that's all we know. That's all we have to go off of. So that's what we have. That's what we're gonna go off of.
And one of the points that I was, and again, like you said, Chihiro's not here to explain her perspective, but again, one of the other shitty things, and again, it's hard because I feel like this is kind of speculating, but like you said, Chihiro was presenting as as female, as a girl, and to have her handbook coded.
Oh yeah, for Monokuma to okay, we
to,
talked about this earlier.
to intentionally code her handbook for the boys' locker room, like as a tool to out her at some point and to instigate, is so like
we talked about this off I think recording.
Yeah.
But clearly, from the moment they introduced, the e-handbooks and the 2 different gendered locker rooms and the Gatling gun and the rules and the restrictions and the loopholes, it became very clear that Monokuma designed this whole scenario as like a trick. It was like a snare to catch what appears to be one specific person.
Yes.
And the fact that all of this design went into the incredibly malicious like setup.
Yeah, setup and murder of this person.
Yeah, and like clearly Chihiro was uncomfortable with it because like she was like, oh, I'm not gonna swim. Oh, I'm not gonna. She was working out in the middle of the night to escape.
Yeah, so she wouldn't be outed. Yeah,
it's like every aspect of this was designed to be specifically terrible to Chihiro. And it fucking sucks.
It's awful.
And then in the end, here we are. In the end, this is what we're dealing with.
It's awful on, like, I'd say on 2 different levels. 1, the execution, and 2, execution aside, just the story aspect of it is like is also really tragic.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like it's tragic. It's one of those things where it's like the story they're telling is tragic and the way they're telling it is shitty.
Yes,
and it happens to be both.
Yes, exactly.
And also Kyoko, you're so firmly in my shit list right now.
I'm really mad at her.
Yeah,
it's really.
There's
shitty.
so many. Again, outside of the framework of the storytelling here, there's like ways that this specific character could have gone about things differently.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
Shut the fuck up. What does that contribute to this conversation? Get the fuck out of here, Byakuya.
This is a most titillating situation.
All right, calm down.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
No.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Yeah?
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
Yeah, it's weird.
At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
Like, oh, good job, you. Like,
He's right. I am not the culprit.
B+.
what are you doing? What are you?
Seems like it was a test.
Okay.
It's a good way for him to figure out who's good at this game and who's not.
And I guess he's like, okay, Makoto, you can play the game, kind of thing. Yeah. All right.
I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Wait, you said you came across it in the girls' locker room, so it was already moved to the girls' locker room.
Yeah, that's why he was surprised by the...
right.
Yeah.
Right.
The idea that the
So,
body had been moved.
This is what I said, like, he was probably there first, the murderer could have moved the body from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room. Then he got to the girls' locker room and modified the crime scene.
So all of that nonsense is completely unrelated.
Oh
Basically,
my God.
we can now remove all of that and stick it aside. It seems like it doesn't matter.
That it was literally just there to see if Makoto could figure it out.
And the rest of the room too. It's
Yeah.
just to see, and also to out Genocide Jill.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see what he's playing here.
Yeah.
Are you fucking with us right now?
Well, he was.
No, I am not effing with you. I'm telling you the truth.
You're effing and jeffing.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility. Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Okay.
Well, now it's like, well, who did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now we have to,
Have a
like...
mind of your own?
Like, the hard part is now we have to figure out what it is we know about the actual crime.
Right.
Because Byakuya messed it up so much.
We're starting from nothing now,
Yeah.
almost.
Well,
Except that she was killed with blunt force trauma to the head.
Yeah. And we know that, like, she had gone to the locker room late at night to work out.
Yup. Yeah.
And that she wouldn't have gone alone.
Right. Yep.
At least according to Sakura. So.
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Does that mean she would have asked one of the guys to come with her then? Possibly?
Seems like it.
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
Based on Aoi's account.
Yes. Yeah.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure we know about the killer. The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means, well,
The killer's a guy.
yeah,
Because
she would
there's
have gone.
Well, there's not a. What we know is there's not a spare e-handbook.
Yep, right.
Because
there's no
Leon's is broken.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. But that's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Time to shoot some more!
Yes, indeedy.
Or steal bullets. Celeste's account.
Yeah, this is the bag with the tracksuit.
Yes.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something
It might
by
have been
now.
the first one.
Perhaps
there's- look how
someone
many
saw
there
the
are.
victim
Oh,
at
that's
some
fair.
point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer.
There we go.
Get it, get it, get it.
Yeah.
Yes. That's wrong. Celeste saw her too.
Yes, yes, yes.
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
Because you wouldn't tell Hifumi about it. For, I guess, just to be petty.
Yep.
The rest of you had
power.
no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
Yeah, which ties into what we knew already, which is that she wouldn't have worked out on her own.
So,
Yeah.
Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Ooh, what a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Okay.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that?
Really?
You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow, it's really hard to believe. Oh boy. Okay. What is our bullet? Celeste's account, which we probably want to replace.
Probably.
Maybe.
This seems like it's going to be a grab and shoot
Yeah.
one.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Okay.
So next we have to ask, Why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I'm just grabbing that one.
Yep.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
She's right. What he said just now is really odd. How did he know something like that? Wait, who are they referring to? Mondo?
First of all, we know where
Nobody knew
Chihiro
the
was
color of
headed.
the tracksuit except for
He was on his
Makoto
way to go
and
exercise. So
Celeste.
next we have to ask,
She hasn't actually said it
why
out
did
loud.
he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
Oh.
What do you mean? the
We actually need to
specific
get rid of the blue
tracksuit?
tracksuit bullet because I actually think
got
Celeste's
it.
account is the important one.
How do I don't know how to
It
replace
matched
it.
The one the culprit was
actually.
wearing.
Shit.
So, what you're saying is...
Because I replaced it.
the killer
Can
was
you
wearing the same blue tracksuit
cycle
as
through?
him? My tracksuit is black.
What do you mean, like this?
No, there's like
I have a white tracksuit
there's a way to switch
personally.
between truth
Oh,
bullets.
got it
I
from the
thought this only
warehouse, if you
replaced it.
must
It
know.
might. Then we might need to just shoot it
Did
at something.
any of that really help us get any closer to
Shit.
figuring out who the
It's okay.
culprit
We have
is?
a lot of.
I could shoot it
No
at.
way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right?
What if I just? If I just shoot it
First
and
of
get
all,
rid of
we
it.
know where Chihiro
Yes.
was headed. He was on
Now
his
it's
way
gone.
to go
There you go.
exercise.
So
next
now
is
I can
why
do
did he
this.
Blue
choose
tracksuit.
What do you
Yeah.
mean, the specific?
I got it! He picked
Yeah.
that. It matched the one the culprit.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
It's a good play, Kyoko.
Yeah.
You're still on my shit list, but that was a very good play.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said,
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
No descriptors.
she never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you... You just...
Mind games, motherfucker.
Damn.
What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
Oh, buddy.
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it.
No, because she was oddly not wearing her tracksuit.
The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility. Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
You better answer her.
I know.
She'll just murder you now.
Yeah, she'll just stab you right here. We can get away with the second murder.
Yeah, right.
Monokuma won't punish us.
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night.
Oh, buddy.
He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
Chihiro got it from the warehouse that night, right? Yep. She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he talked, the way he was acting, because I hate him.
This is less obvious in English, but it's the answer is the way he talked.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently.
Oh, so it was, he probably used a different, like, suffix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those that it's a lot more obvious in Japanese. This is the opposite of the Leon one. It's more obvious in Japanese than it is in English. Yeah.
He probably called her, like, Chihiro-kun or something like that. Yeah. Oh.
You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick.
Oh, and they did make a point of it. They're like, what was this dude's, like, deal? Yeah.
And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
Did you notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you?
He was really, like, protective of her initially. Oh, this is bad.
It also, I will say, if you look at the murder scene, removing everything that Byakuya did from the perspective of somebody who cared, it takes a different flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
Uh-oh. It's bro.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yikes.
My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
Oh, you said you saw something.
Yeah.
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
What is that a reference to? I don't understand what that's a reference to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I watch anime, Hifumi. I don't get your reference.
Want some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Tell us right now, because everyone's lives depend on it.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I
missing
scooped it up.
handbook. Perhaps? You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to... It's Chihiro's.
I got it!
Clearly.
Yep.
We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
They are not.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere?
Do you think that this might have something to do with things?
Monokuma, you're way too proud of yourself for this.
God.
This whole case, I don't like you being proud of yourself.
I know, it's really
about
bad.
anything.
How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbook break? There's only one possible explanation. By exploiting a bug, by hitting its weak point, by hacking it. I'm pretty sure it's the weak point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what hitting it, like, what, we don't know what that
You
means.
already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
Of course not.
Absolutely not.
No
You can
way.
trust us.
Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is...
Power button.
When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break.
I flippin' knew it!
Really?
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
Shot and chaser.
Ooh, buddy.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Thanks, Monokuma.
Great.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
Honestly, I feel that too.
Yeah.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Unless someone's already broke previously while being in the sauna.
Guess who wore his clothes in the sauna?
Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not
Who'd have
knowing its
thought
weakness,
That
and it
fucking
broke?
scene would come back.
It had relevance. It had a point.
Who would have thunk it had a purpose? What the hell?
I know.
Oh my god.
Incredible. Even the fact that he was an idiot and wore his clothes in had a point.
God damn.
They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that?
Me, I know. Pick me.
I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
Because he weirdly made me, like, witness it.
I might know someone who did.
Hey.
They made me part of it, and I don't know why.
Yeah, right. I was a witness. It's my ultimate power. I'm the ultimate witness. He kind of is.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
You know, Ishimaru.
He cries.
Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna? It had to be the one who wore all their clothes into the sauna. It was... Sorry, I'm just moving this along.
Yep, no, here we go. 1, 2, that guy.
You.
Here's my answer.
Was you...
Oh,
Mondo. Your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Ishimaru, I'm sorry, man.
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets.
Like a dumbass.
It was weird at the time, honestly.
And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Oh boy. Hey.
I know.
It's a long one. Oh geez, Broken Knee Handbook, Chihiro's Handbook, Card Reader. Boy.
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
Actually, I don't remember how to cycle through my truth bullets.
LB.
LB lets me do that. Okay.
If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
Interesting. That would definitely prove
In
it.
other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo
I mean, we
would
have a
hurt a
Broken Knee
fly!
Handbook. I guess I could do that.
Yeah.
Well, this Broken Knee Handbook is Leon's.
Is Leon's, so it could be Chihiro's. Because we don't actually know it's Chihiro's, right? It won't turn on.
Right. That's true. I'm sure Mondo's
I
handbook.
think. I mean, it seems like it's either Leon's or it's Chihiro's, right? Because it's not the
Yeah.
card reader.
I don't think it could be the
Yeah.
card reader.
And there's only one thing to fire at, so we've got a ton of influence.
I
Let's
mean,
just fire at it.
The other thing I'm thinking is, I mean, Mondo's handbook would have to get working again, right? In order for him to access the card reader.
Well, or he used Leon's. And he has Leon's.
Oh, and he swapped them.
Yeah, so it's the broken one.
Okay.
Because that's the only.
So,
yeah,
I'm
so
gonna-
the one
I'm gonna fire
because we know
his
there's no way
assertion.
Leon's
If
would
what
have
he said
broken.
you
The
broke
sauna
your
wasn't
own,
open.
in other
So
words,
yeah, it's broken.
if
He's
the
handbook
handbook-
at.
Well, my
Whenever he
goddamn
says-
handbook
Yep.
works just fine.
This one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
Yep. So they're swapped.
Yep.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
Yeah, because why would Leon's be broken if it can only be, like, broken with high heat?
Yeah, and the sauna wasn't open while Leon was alive.
Yeah, and like that's what Monokuma was saying. Like a bunch of baseballs wouldn't
Yeah,
break
that wouldn't
it.
have done it. So,
Yeah.
yep.
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Nope.
Well,
It does not.
here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student.
That's the loophole. Is they're not a person anymore? He says they become
Yeah,
a thing.
you said that earlier. Yeah.
It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch.
What's wrong, bro? Come on, tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Okay. Oh, is this the make a comic?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
It sure is.
I'm on a timer.
Do you want to pause it? Can you pause it?
Yeah, I can just do this.
All right. So that was a lot. I know that was a really long episode. But it seems like, look, we're at the closing argument. It seems like we made it through the case, which unfortunately means that Mondo must be the guy.
Yeah, we gotta spell it out.
Yeah.
In a comic. And then Mondo's
Mondo's
gonna have
this
to...
terrible case.
We're through this terrible case, and Mondo's gonna have to explain why the fuck he killed Chihiro,
That's the thing, is the weird part about all this is we've managed to prove, I guess, who the killer is.
But why?
Without any understanding.
Yeah. I mean, again, I have suspicions as well. Like, my suspicion is that Chihiro, like they were friends. Chihiro revealed her secret to him.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's not
It's not related.
No, it's
to
not. It has absolutely nothing
Thank
to do with that.
God!
No,
Okay.
it has absolutely nothing to do with that.
Okay,
Let's go ahead and
so glad.
No. In fact,
but like
I mentioned it earlier. If you examine the way the scene was treated, it tells a story, but not. It doesn't explain what happened, but it does tell a story.
Interesting. And I'm sure, I mean, I'll probably get some sort of understanding of it from the comic a little bit.
Yeah, or afterwards. But yeah.
Because I don't understand. I don't understand right now. So I would like to understand what the fuck happened. Yeah. Yeah, and like, I don't know, to kill your friend. Jeez. This is rough. This was a real rough one. So thank you guys for sticking through it with us as well.
It's shitty.
Yeah.
The other cases aren't like this. They just decided to go a direction with this one. But we're almost through, and we'll be able to see the whole story shortly.
So we will find out the rest next time.
All right. See you, folks.